awesome VBC volunteers. Thanks for taking the time to watch this quick video. My name is Gail and I'm in charge of special events here, and I just wanted to share some of the things, the nuts and bolts you'll need to know about in your classroom. First of all, I hope you all picked up your packet of information. If you haven't done that yet, please make plans to do so. It's right outside the children's office on the first floor in Building B. So after you pick up your packet of information, there's a couple things it'll tell you. First of all, the color will tell you what classroom you're in. This person was in first grade teal, and it tells the room number, B2 through 1. So if you wanted to go check it out, you could. Inside the packet, the first thing that's most important is a list of who else is assigned to the same class as you. So you'll want to pull that out and make contact with these people right away so you can get together with them and start planning for VBC. The next thing in there is a list of all the things for the week, the different stories every day and the verses that we'll be learning, so that's pretty exciting too. We had an awesome intern that created a volunteer daily devotion, so you should take some time every day during VBC to read it. I think you'll really be blessed if you do that. The next thing in here is classroom volunteer information, and there's some really good stuff in here, so you want to take time to read it. I'm going to quickly highlight a few things. The first thing is that you need to make contact with all your volunteers. As a group, you need to get together sometime before setup. Setup is scheduled for June 11th from 1 to 4. So you need to find out, you guys want to meet at 1 o'clock, do you want to meet at 2 o'clock, you're going to be here at 3, and what you're going to do at setup is hopefully decorate your door, put names for all the kids out there, rearrange the room any way you want to. You'll have the opportunity to move tables up, move tables down, you can get rid of chairs, whatever feels most comfortable to you all. Most classrooms will be full. The older kids will have up to 24 kids in each classroom. The younger kids, like you pre-K people, you'll probably only have maybe 16 kids at the most. Now before you go changing the room setup, we'll let you know if there's a Sunday school class happening that night, Sunday night of setup. If there is, then you can't really do that kind of changing yet. Let's see, on setup day, when you do show up, whatever time you prearrange with your people, you want to make sure that you bring some of your own supplies. With every classroom having people set up, we won't have enough scissors and tape and all that kind of stuff for everyone to use. So you might want to bring that stuff with you from home if you're putting stuff up on the walls. We will have a few ladders available if you're wanting to hang something from the ceiling, which some people choose to do. Downstairs in the resource room, we have construction paper, we have colored paper, we have big rolls of paper that is the kind of paper you'd use, like butcher paper for the doors, so you're welcome to use any of that. We have a die cut machine too with lots of different things you can die cut. When will you get your final rosters? Final rosters won't be available till setup day, and the reason for that is we have lots of changes going on until then. But Stacy and I will plan on sending something out to you probably a week before, just to double check and make sure if you ask to have your child in your classroom that they're in there with you. Name tags. We will provide name tags for all the volunteers and youth helpers for the week, but you will be responsible for making name tags for your classroom. One of the people in communications is doing a really cool thing for us. She's making a template that we're hoping we'll be able to use, but it's like a secret agent template. So if you guys want to see that one, I will send it out to everyone, and if you want that, you can use that for your name tags. We have, if you want to have lanyards that they can clip on, you can do that. We can provide those for you. Or if you want the ones they wear around the neck, we can do that too. Some people choose to do stickers, and that's fine. If you want to print out stickers for every day of the week and they slap it on, that works too. Purchasing materials for your classroom. Every classroom has a budget of $30. Doesn't sound like a lot, but we're hoping you don't have to provide a whole lot. The $30, you just need to turn those receipts in by the end of the week of VBC, and you'll be reimbursed for that. Let's see, page 2. Classroom notebook. This is kind of an important part. Every year we'll give each classroom a notebook. This is designed from last year, but it's just to show you an example. And this is going to be something really important you're going to take with you wherever you go. It'll have your classroom name, your room number, and the back will have your schedule. This will be great to have with you because it tells you where you're rotating every day. This year things are going to be a little bit different. Instead of rotating to recreation twice during the week and craft or science twice during the week, you're only going to rotate to everything once. So you'll want to know where you're going every day. So this classroom, a kindergarten classroom, on Monday they're going to the science rotation. Tuesday they're heading to rec. Wednesday they're going to missions. And Thursday they're going to craft. The reason this is important is because the classroom right next door to you, they're probably going somewhere else. So you need to know exactly where you're going. So that's one of the things that this binder will come in handy for. The other thing is it's going to have your final roster in here. And it'll be set up so you can check in people every day so you know who's with you and who's not. So when you're in the sanctuary for drama and music, you'll know how many kids are supposed to be with you and you can check them off your list. There'll be copies of the curriculum in here, some more class details. There'll be a place for teacher notes. Every day we're going to leave a note in your room because sometimes we forget to tell you something or something comes up or maybe some of the supplies we were supposed to get to you, something had to change with it. So every day you'll find a brightly colored class note somewhere in your room that you'll hopefully find it. And then you can stick it in your binder so you'll have them all with you. So that's the class binder in a nutshell, but make sure you will pick that up on setup day. We'll have one per classroom. What time do I need to arrive each day? Well, camp starts at 12:30, but we're really hoping you'll be here by 12:15. We need 2 unrelated volunteers in a classroom before we can start letting campers come into the room. So it can be a youth, an adult, it's fine as long as they're non-related. Let's see, missions collection. There's information on what missions is going to be this year. We're really excited to be collecting things for the Beds Ministry again, and we're also collecting money for the Juan Wesley School in Honduras. You will be responsible for coming up with some kind of collection item in your classroom. So this was from last year. They used a Tupperware thing. So it can be very creative or very simple. When the kids come in, they'll dump their missions money in here, and then you will take this with you to the sanctuary every day, and there'll be people there to collect it. This year we are going to do this little clear envelope for the kids to take home every day to collect their missions money in. So it'll probably have a sticker or information on it. It won't just be plain, but this is giving you an idea. This is what's going to go home with the kids every day. All right, let's see, what else? Classroom supplies. You will have supplies in your classroom, pencils or pens, markers or crayons, probably some glue sticks, a couple pairs of scissors, that kind of stuff that you'll be able to use throughout the week. Journals. We will be doing journals again this year. This is one from a couple years ago, just to give you an example. Every child will have one. There will be a special time during the day where they can go through their journal, but it will be age appropriate. We have 2 different versions that we're creating. But it's kind of a fun thing, and it's also a filler. If during the day you've run out of the activities we've provided, you need something else, you can use the journal. All right, snack. Snack will be delivered to your room every day. We're going to do snack time a little bit differently, and I'll get to that in a second. But if kids have any kind of allergies or gluten allergies, they put that on the registration. We will communicate to those parents ahead of time what the snacks are going to be. So if they need to provide their own snack, they will. Our snacks are pretty healthy and pretty generic for most allergies, like nut allergies, but we can't hit them all. So if they have a specific allergy, they can bring their own treat in for the day. Youth volunteers. You probably have several youth volunteers in your classroom, and it's going to be really important that you get them involved. Many of these youth are already helping every Sunday in Sunday school. They may have a lot more experience than the adults in the room. So make sure you're using them. If they would like to lead part of the lesson, let them lead the lesson. But just make sure you get them involved. They're here for a reason, and they really want to help out. If you have any trouble during the week, you just need to come find one of the staff people or one of the people in the information booth, and we'll be happy to help you if you have any spills or anything like that. All right, the next thing in your folder is safety policies and procedures, and I'm not going to go over all that discipline stuff. But the one thing I want to highlight is the bathroom procedure. None of you should be in a class where anyone's diapering. That's a good thing. But you are going to be in classrooms that don't have restrooms unless you're on the first floor. So this year, with the construction in the other building, bathrooms are going to be tight. There's not going to be a ton of availability. You want to plan really well, like if you're going to the sanctuary or going to the rotation, maybe use the restrooms that are down by the sanctuary for that. Because up in this hallway, we're going to be crammed full of kiddos and volunteers, so it's going to be really tough if everyone wants to use the same bathrooms. When you are taking a bathroom break in the middle of the day, if one kid has to go to the bathroom, do not send just one person with them. You can't send a youth with like 3 or 4 campers. You need to have 2 people go, and I know that can be kind of a hardship. That's why if you want to plan your bathroom time, that works great. So never send one person by themselves to the bathroom with kiddos. Evacuation procedures for tornado, fire, and intruder. In all your classrooms, you're going to have this little red backpack, and you're going to want to grab this with you in case of any kind of emergency. It has all the information you need on the outside, where you need to go. It has first aid kit, all that kind of stuff. You'll grab your notebook. This over here on the wall will tell you exactly your evacuation route. If you have any emergencies, there's a nice little card thing. It'll tell you the different instructions you'll need. Just make yourself aware of all that stuff in case anything would happen. All right, now we are down to the last piece of our training stuff, and that is your curriculum, which is on the other side. Just going to highlight a few things. Every day there's a column that says provided materials, and we will get all that to you hopefully on Sunday of setup day. We'll have big brown grocery bags just stuffed with stuff. So you're going to have to dig around and find the materials that we're going to provide for you. And every day there might be something that you need to supply. Like on Monday, you supply the door and room decorations. Hopefully you've done that on Sunday during setup. You'll provide the camper name tags ready to go. And you'll provide a container for missions money. And we're going to provide everything else. The thing that we're going to do new this year is kind of exciting. rotations are only going to happen for 1 hour every day. Everyone's going to be back in the classroom, regardless of what grade, at 3 o'clock. At 3 o'clock, we're going to try something new. It's called reflection time, along with snack. So if you want to dim some of the lights, make it quiet, people can sit on the floor, they can lay on the floor, give them their snack, give them their journal and a writing utensil, and we're just going to ask them to kind of be quiet for a little while, spend some time reflecting what they've learned so far, spend some time in their journal, doing some of the activities that are there, eat their snack. I think the kids will really enjoy it. It might be hard for the fidgety kids, but I think if we give them some time, they will use that time wisely. Right after that time, we have the Miss G video. Every day you'll watch a video on the screen in your room. There'll be a place where you're going to pause, do whatever she challenges you to do. Like, for example, the first day Miss G is going to challenge you to come up with a secret handshake, which will be kind of fun. After you've developed your secret handshake, you're going to hit unpause and finish the video. A couple of other things I just want to point out about the curriculum is that every day there's going to be a spyglass. It's just a magnifying glass. So in times when you're sitting around the group and wanting the kids to speak, you can pass around the spyglass. Whoever's holding the spyglass, it's their time to talk, and nobody else will be talking during that time. It's just a good visual reminder for kiddos. Every day there's also going to be a top secret envelope, and that's something you'll have ahead of time. Inside the envelope are the 2 secrets or however many secrets you're learning for that day. So if you want to plan ahead and hide the envelope somewhere in your classroom, and when it gets to that time, ask the kids to help you find the secret envelope, that would be great. On day 1, you will be getting the camper t-shirts. They'll be delivered to your classroom. Just want to make sure that you don't write names inside the labels, because sometimes t-shirts are the wrong size. If a child is not there, go ahead and set that t-shirt aside and write their name on a sticky note and put it on there. And then please hand out the t-shirts based on the size that mom or dad or whoever registered and picked. Even if it looks like it's not the right size for them, it's what they registered for, and we'll let mom or dad come back to us and we'll change. Okay, let's see. Is there anything else? We're just kind of quickly going through this. I think the last thing is the shaving cream party on Friday. It's going to be kind of the same as always. Friday's a little bit different. Your schedule will be different. You won't be rotating anywhere but the shaving cream party. We'll have Sheridan's custard that day, so snack won't be delivered to your room. You'll be responsible for taking down all the supplies in your room. If things get left behind by a camper, you can bring it down to the lost and found. The one thing I would suggest for shaving cream day is if you want to bring, and I put this on your supplies, any extra towels in case a kid forgets, or if you get wet or somehow you get shaving cream, you might want that. Maybe a laundry basket or some kind of box to collect their shoes and towels when you're outside, so it kind of keeps it together. And that's the last thing I can think of for our training. So anyway, hopefully you get some good things from this. Get together with your group, watch the other videos that we're posting, and we will see you in June. Thanks!